Welcome back to Kawartha Lakes Matters. I'm Vanessa Murphy, along with our mayor, Andy Letham. And Andy, I was watching the budget meeting on YouTube the other day because I found it a little fascinating to see how council decides what goes ahead and what doesn't. And the best part was when I heard that this is the lowest tax increase in over a decade. So how did council manage to do that while also not carrying over a deficit from the pandemic like other municipalities?
Yeah, it's a great question, actually. And I think it's a credit to our staff and council early in the pandemic last year in 2020. We made a decision with our staff to reduce our services, and we knew revenues were going to be down. We didn't know how much, but we had a plan in place early to let's reduce some of our services so that by the end of the year, let's target a break-even budget. So as we see our reduction in revenues over the course of 2020, let's reduce services accordingly and try to end the year with a balanced budget. And we were able to do that. We had about $5 million in 2020 in reduced revenues. We didn't hire any summer students last year. So, the grass didn't get cut as often. Some of our gardens weren't as nice, but, we were in the middle of a global pandemic. So we did what we had to do. Some of our facilities weren't open full time, the libraries and service centers and such like that. So we made some good adjustments. And then the province, of course, came along with some safe restart funding as well. And I think as we transitioned into 2021, we were able to take that balanced budget, but at the same time, some of that money was for 2021 and apply. We know we're going to have reduced revenues in 2021 as well. We know our services aren't, we're going to try to get them up to where they were before, but, we're limited in what we can do because of the pandemic, obviously. So by applying some of that funding, modernization funding, different funds that we had to pandemic related pressures for 2021, some that we know are going to be in place for 2021, we were able to come forward. Our budget started about 3.84%. At the beginning of the day, and we knew that going in after our capital budget. And it was really just a question of, applying some of this funding we had. So we were able to find that balance. We didn't have to drain reserves. We had this money available, but we've also left ourselves in a good position, going into 2021. We know we're going to have a surplus. We were able to apply some money to different community groups to, some grant programs to try and help some of our community along with some small grants. But I think what it also does, which, we're not really in a position to advertise it yet, it puts us in a good shape for the end of 2021 because going into 2022, because we still have money in the bank. We're going to plan accordingly again this year, but we believe we're going to be able to ramp up some of our services. And, we ended up about 1.5%, which, as you mentioned, is the lowest tax increase we've had in quite a while. That will translate to a little bit more in the Lindsay area because of, some of the full-time fire and the transit, police and such area rated services, and a little less in the rural areas. So Lindsay will probably see around a 2% increase. Some of our rural residents will see a 1% increase. So overall, the municipality is budgeting for a 1.5% increase. And as you mentioned, that's the lowest in quite a while, but it's kind of a one-time opportunity we had because of some good planning. Big kudos to the province for stepping up and supplying us some funding to enable us to be able to do that. But I think we're going to be able to move ahead with a lot of our capital projects in 2021. Lots of big projects still on the go. But overall, just a good news budget, a lot of hard work, a lot of sort of thought went into it. And I'm really pleased with the direction we ended up in. Should be a good start for 2021. Give our residents a bit of a break, a one-time break without messing up our long-term financial plan, which was important. We didn't want to just cut, and try to put something forward that we were going to have to pay for next year or the year after. So I think we successfully did that.